What have you done lately to make yourself proud? My name is Macaraig, and I want to talk to you about who is affected by HIV and AIDS and what can we do about it. Are you aware that HIV and AIDS has taken over 40 million lives since it was first recognized in December 1981? The purpose of my speech is to raise awareness of how to stop the spread of HIV in California and what we can do about it. HIV and AIDS is an epidemic and is still too real and affects all of us. There's a yearly bicycle ride that helps raise money for HIV and AIDS awareness and medical funding. With financial, time, or personal commitment to help raise awareness and prevention, it is possible to end HIV and AIDS. The effort of the AIDS Life Cycle, a campaign that gets bicycle riders to ride from San Francisco to LA 545 miles in 7 days in efforts to raise badly needed awareness and funding to help win the fight against HIV and AIDS. This year, over 2,000 riders raised over $3,000 and committed to this epic journey down the coast of California and inside parts of California as well. It's the efforts of these people who are aware of this epidemic to stand up and make a change to help end HIV. Today, nearly 40 million people, women and children, died from AIDS, and an estimated 33.2 million people are living with HIV at the end of 2007. HIV touches our lives of the people of all ethnicities, genders, sexual orientation. By helping take care of this epidemic that affects every community in the world and funding it needs to help reach a cure and to do drastic improvements to the lives of those living with HIV and AIDS. Funds enable research, support services, healthcare, and education. Now that you know a little bit about what AIDS is and about what the life cycle is all about, that's what I'm going to talk about. This is the only AIDS-funded bicycle event in California organized by a nonprofit agency that will benefit from the monies raised by participants. The sole concern is providing critical services to people living with HIV and AIDS. The support and commitment to the event is pivotal to our success. Participation and the monies you raise and I raise, and hopefully you'll be able to donate, will allow us to provide these critical services. So, people affected by HIV could be anyone. And now that I want you to help benefit many people to deal with this life-threatening disease. It's funny though, public stigma still believes that HIV is a gay disease. In fact, in LA 29% and in San Francisco 24% are heterosexual men and women having contracted HIV. More than 190,000 Californians have reportedly contracted HIV and AIDS, and more than 86,000 have died since the epidemic began in the early 1980s. You can contract this disease regardless of your sexual orientation, age, social class, gender, or race. Even though it may not be advertised in the public, it still is killing thousands of Californians a year, and it has an impact on every one of us, our lives, directly and indirectly. We know there is no cure. We know the only cure is prevention. It is up to us as a community to raise that awareness, to keep people safe from contracting this disease, and it is up to us to help raise money to provide the critical services and education needed to meet the growing needs of our community. My part to help in this epidemic is to get the knowledge out that HIV and AIDS is still real, and that there is a need to be something to be done to stop it. I formed a team that is riding the AIDS Life Cycle this year. My team has been training for a high-endurance event for this past 6 months. Along with training, I'm committed to raise over $4,500 to support the AIDS Life Cycle and help raise the necessary money to help the beneficiaries continue to provide the critical services and education needed to meet the growing needs of our community. With our endeavors and our personal pledges to raise the money to find a cure, we hope to make a dent in such a huge effort. You can donate online as well as keep track of how I'm doing with donations and fundraising at www.tofighthiv.org /go to/Michael M. At any point you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to call me. This ride, it's a big deal that will affect thousands of people in need of help or in need of education of HIV and AIDS awareness. The AIDS life cycle is a unique, once-in-a-lifetime experience. It is a chance to focus all of one's physical and emotional energy before and during the ride itself, towards having the largest impact possible on the lives of as many people as possible, uniting together the critical fight against HIV and AIDS. AIDS life cycle is the first and foremost a message and a reminder to ourselves and the world that no matter how long the way there, how impervious the road, how steep and tough the climb to reach our goal, we will not stop fighting. As a community, we will have won the battle against this epidemic. The HIV epidemic is too real and affects all of us. We all, in a way, have lived with HIV, and we all have a responsibility to do our part to win this war. We must end this epidemic, but the fuel that will make it possible is still more funds. If you want to learn more, check out San Francisco AIDS Foundation at www.sfaf.org. If you feel confident with your will to end HIV and AIDS, please help by donating time or your money to AIDS Life Cycle at www.2fighthIV.org/go to/Michael M. And that's to donate to me as a writer. That's going to go directly to the AIDS Life Cycle Foundation. So, thank you for your time.